Today we'll be seeing about MCFC and S5FC. What is AFC? What is AFC?
Alkaline fuels.
Okay. YSZ. What is YSZ? Have you heard about it? No. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, please.
why is Z?
Yeah.
Ytra stabilized zirconia.
Correct. YSZ or Z. Yttria stabilized zirconia. Correct. Zirconia crystals, many of you may know, especially female students, or even why not male students also. Zirconia crystals in the ornaments, stones, right? So shall we go ahead? I think we'll be completing a fuel cells unit today. Anything you would like to make, some comments, clarifications, suggestions, additions?
Sir, is fuel cell is a reversible engine?
Is fuel cell reversible engine? It means rechargeable, or what sense you are asking?
Sir, fuel cell can produce water. Can we able to produce electricity back by pouring
Yeah. So
rushing water?
I have some content. Yeah, new terminology is revolving about 5 years or so. Regenerative fuel cells or reversible fuel cells. Regenerative fuel cells or reversible fuel cells. So it means, I think I have some details to tell you that the water that is being generated by the fuel cell can be fed to the electrolyzer. Electrolyzer will generate hydrogen and oxygen, maybe by using any other means of energy, maybe solar energy, wind energy, etc. Then, so that can be fed to the fuel cell, maybe during the night time, it will generate water. Then water can be again fed to the electrolyzer. It can be like a loop. Complete independence of mass and energy can be realized if we have a fully developed regenerative fuel cells or reversible fuel cells. In that sense, it is regenerative. It is, I don't know where we can call it as a reversible, but it is a sustainable regenerative fuel cells. It is possible. People are working on this regard.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I have some content, 1 or 2 slides. Anything else? We'll go ahead. Yes. So last class up to DMFC we have seen. So DMFC is nothing but a direct methanol fuel cells. Without reforming methanol into hydrogen, if we can directly use methanol as a fuel by means of oxidation of methanol, we'll be able to have a fuel cell. Also will generate potentials, electricity, etc. So the potential is slightly less, 1.21 against 1.23 in the case of hydrogen fuel cell. That's because methanol doesn't oxidize at zero potential, but oxidizes at relatively higher voltage, higher over potential. That's why small decrease in the theoretical cell voltage. So there are several merits for the DMFC. It's the simplest alcohol that we have in the alcohol series. No CC bond, easy to break, and maybe so if it is a ethanol fuel cell, we have a better infrastructure. It can be manufactured in large quantities by using the sugar industries, etc. And it can also give high power densities compared to high PMFC, but there are disadvantages. Methanol crossover is a big problem. Significant amount of methanol is passing through the membrane, that is in Nephron, and reaches the cathode compartment where it is having a potential to get reduced instead of oxidized, which will have a contribution of mixed potential that will still further reduce the cell voltage. Methanol fuel crossover. Apart from that, so we have a CO poisoning. We have already seen that in the case of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, the fuel for hydrogen oxygen fuel cell must be pure. If not, we will have a catalyst poisoning. But in the case of a methanol or alcohol fuel cell in general, CO will be formed during the oxidation of ethanol or methanol itself. Then all the platinum sites will be adsorbed with or formed with the CO. There are no fresh platinum site available further for methanol to get absorbed and further oxidized. Fuel cell performance will be retarded. So to counter this, or the remedy for this is we have to use co-catalyst or carbon monoxide tolerance catalyst or bifunctional catalyst. So co-catalysts such as platinum, molybdenum, platinum, tin, platinum, titanium, platinum, ruthenium, etc. So on the co-catalyst side, that's the titanium, tin, or ruthenium, molybdenum sites. So we need to have adsorbed water or adsorbed OH in such a way that the formed CO on the platinum is getting oxidized to CO2. There are two functions this co-catalyst does. It is having a function to adsorb OH or water. That's what we have seen. This one. On the other hand, so when we make alloys with the co-catalyst, maybe molybdenum or titanium, etc., the bonding present between the carbon and the platinum is getting weakened in such a way that this carbon can be easily oxidized to CO2. Yes. So I am not sure. Okay. I didn't share so far, maybe. Yeah, thank you. So this co-catalyst site, on the co-catalyst site, OH or water can be adsorbed. And when it adsorbs, this platinum, the bonding between the platinum and the co-catalyst can be a titanium or tin or ruthenium, molybdenum, etc. The bonding between co-catalyst site and the platinum site is formed, metallic bond is formed. When it does so, the strength between the platinum and the carbon bond strength is weakened so that this formed CO can be easily adsorbed, easily decomposed. So once the CO is decomposed to CO2, then plus fresh platinum site is available so that fresh methanol molecule or ethanol molecule, or if it is hydrogen molecule, can be adsorbed and it can continue for oxidation and etc. So this CO tolerance or bifunctional catalyst has two functions. One function is to have the facilitation to adsorb OH or water. The another one, weakening the bond strength between the carbon and the platinum. So we must have a co-catalyst or CO tolerance catalyst in order to remove or oxidize formed CO into CO2. If we take care of that, so the CO tolerance can be realized and the performance of the DMFC can be much better. Okay. We'll move to the next fuel cell, MCFC, molten carbonate fuel cell. Molten carbonate fuel cell. As the name implies, there is something to do with the carbonates. Carbonates acts as a electrolyte. We have previously seen this H plus containing ions or acids, sulfuric acid, can act as an electrolyte. H plus containing phosphoric acid can act as an electrolyte. We have a phosphoric acid fuel cell, PAFC. We have seen AFC, OH ion containing material or electrolyte as an electrolyte. AFC, alkali fuel cell. And in the case of methanol fuel cell, it's so we can have H plus or OH minus conducting electrolyte. DMFC, AFC general, DAFC generally. But here, carbonates will act as a electrolyte. So if I ask you to name any metal carbonates, I'm sure you'll be able to tell few. Here specifically, alkali metal carbonates are used in the matrix of lithium aluminum oxide. What are alkali metal carbonates? Lithium carbonate, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, rubidium carbonate. So you take any of these metal carbonates, mix it with the lithium aluminum oxide in a matrix, and it cannot start conducting at room temperature because they are all solids. Solids are poor conductors, ionic conductors in room temperature. To make them conducting, you have to make it at a high temperature. You have to melt it. What temperature? About 500 to 550 or 600 degree or 650. Up to this temperature range, you have to melt it. What will happen? Lithium carbonate, sodium carbonate, potassium, rubidium carbonates will start becoming molten state. What is molten state? Solid state we know, liquid state we know. What is molten state? Gaseous state we know. Molten state is something like a syrupy at a high temperature. That state, they start conducting electricity by the movement of carbonates. So if we have a lithium carbonate, the ions are lithium ion and the carbonate ion, CO3 2 minus carbonates. If it is a sodium, then you have sodium ion and carbonate. These carbonates facilitates the movement of charge carriers. Movement of charge carriers. In PMFC, PAFC, and DMFC, we have seen it is H plus facilitating the movement of ions or charges. Now here carbonate. That's why the name comes molten carbonate. It can be simply called as CFC, carbonate fuel cells. But it is a molten carbonate because it doesn't conduct the electricity at room temperature. You have to melt at a high temperature. Molten state you have to take, then start functioning the MCFC fuel cell. Okay. So the electrolyte is metal carbonate, preferably made in the form of heating or molten state. Then you have an anode and a cathode. Here the merit is you don't need to have expensive anodes and cathodes. It can do with even nickel or nickel chromium metals itself can act as a catalyst. That's enough. Similarly, cathode, it can be other than platinum. For example, lithium nickel oxide or lithium cobalt oxide, etc. Can anyone think of why we don't need an expensive catalyst platinum, platinum ruthenium, platinum molybdenum. Such catalysts we don't require here. Can you think of why? Okay, let me complete. The fuel is, you can use hydrogen, or carbon monoxide itself can be used. Carbon monoxide itself can also be used as a fuel. So if it is a hydrogen, so this is the oxidation reaction. Hydrogen is oxidized to water, and oxygen is reduced to, or CO2 is reduced to carbonate. Again, oxygen is reduced with the help of oxygen. Same theoretical potential. So we have a carbonate based electrolyte, non-platinum or non-precious metals or metal oxides as a anodes and cathodes. And the fuel choices are hydrogen or carbon monoxide itself can be used as a fuel, oxidating to same oxygen. And this MCFC should be operated at high temperature. This is one of the examples for high temperature fuel cells, 600 to 650 degree. And the anodes and the cathodes are not expensive catalysts like platinum or platinum based anodes and cathodes. We can simply use nickel or nickel chrome. Maybe in the form of a cathode, we can use lithium nickel oxide or lithium cobalt oxide. Can anyone think why we don't need to use platinum here? It can do with only nickel. Can you think of why? What is the purpose of having an anode catalyst? To decompose or to oxidize the fuel. Here, let's say fuel is hydrogen. Hydrogen has to be oxidized to H plus and electron. So far, we have seen this occurs at a quite high rate on platinum. But even in platinum, we have a problem. If the fuel is not pure, if it is having sulfur or carbon monoxide as an impurity, then we have a CO poisoning, retardation of the fuel cell performances. But here we don't have platinum, we have nickel, chromium. But you can get much better performances even on nickel chromium alloy as an anode, not precious metal like platinum or platinum based metals. Why? Can you think of why precious catalysts are not required generally for high temperature fuel cells? We have a next fuel cell, SOFC. There also we don't require expensive catalyst. Even metal oxides will do. Even non-precious metals will do. Nickel will do. Nickel oxide will do. Lithium, lanthanum, manganese oxide will do. Can you think why?
The temperature is no need of it.
Yeah, so if temperature is so high, so what?
The reaction rate will automatically increase.
Definitely, yes. So we can still use platinum, but which is very expensive. Expensive platinum can be replaced with less price metals or metal alloys as a catalyst or anode in MCFC, because these are all high temperature fuel cells. At high temperature fuel cells, generally the rate of the reaction will be high, quite high. Not only that, if at all CO formed, it can be easily oxidized. It can be easily oxidized. But in this case, there is no CO poisoning here. When CO itself can be used as a fuel, where is the question of CO poisoning? That's why. So because this fuel cell is operated at a elevated temperature, you don't need to use expensive catalyst. Even a nominal catalyst like nickel chrome itself enough, so that the rate of the oxidation can be enough and you can get enough performances. Okay. So nickel chrome has a anode, lithium nickel oxide or lithium cobalt oxide as a cathode, and the electrolyte is alkali metal carbonate, lithium carbonate, sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate immersed or dispersed on lithium aluminum oxide. So, and it is operated at a 600 to 650 degree, and you can even use carbon monoxide as a fuel. Carbon monoxide itself as a fuel. So we have several merits for this fuel cell MCFC. Not only carbon monoxide, natural gas directly can be used as a fuel. You don't need to reform into hydrogen. CNG can be directly used. Methane can be directly used because of high temperature. Anything can be oxidized at an elevated temperature. You don't need a precious catalyst because the rate at which the oxidation taking place is supported by the high temperature of the fuel cell operating condition. And you don't need to have a precious catalyst, platinum. And these carbonates, alkali carbonates, they provide enough mobility, ion mobility or conductivity, ion conductivity, provided they are heated at this temperature, 600 to 650 degree. And these MCSC fuel cells are not prone to CO poisoning. They are CO tolerant already without using catalyst, without using bifunctional catalyst. Because CO itself can be used as a fuel. There is no question of CO poisoning because it is high temperature. If at all CO formed or CO is used as a fuel cell, it can be easily decomposed into CO2. So there is no question of CO poisoning. You don't need to have a bifunctional catalyst, etc. We have several merits. Carbon monoxide itself you can be used as a fuel. It's like tailpipe of any CO emitting industries can be directly connected to the MCFC. So instead of letting the CO into the environment, let the CO into the MCFC, and this MCFC will start functioning, produce current or potentials or energy. Very much useful where the industries emit CO. Okay, but there are disadvantages also because the temperature associated with this fuel cell is very high, 600 to 650 degree. So whenever any system is operated at elevated temperature, they are having a less durability. High temperature, you have to be always maintained at 600 to 650 degree. Okay. So degradation of the material, electrode, electrolyte, everything will happen. Corrosion is a problem already, even at room temperature. But high temperature, it will be much more prone. So because of that, we have less durability or decreased lifespan. But there is a problem here. When we have a sulfur densification taking place in the electrolyte, because of that, so the mobility may be reduced. CO is not a problem, but when we have H2S along with the fuel, so if the electrolyte is sodium carbonate, it will form sodium sulfide. This sodium sulfide is a good sintering agent. It will bring the grains together and make a dense matrix. It will reduce the ion mobility. That's the problem. But so wherever CO emission is there, this fuel cell can be adopted very much. You don't need to separately generate CO and feed to the MCFC cell. But wherever CO is emitted, maybe along with the CO2, okay? So this fuel cell can be very much used. So MCFC or molten carbonate fuel cells, it is one of the high temperature fuel cells. So fuel hydrogen can be very much used. Carbon monoxide also can be used. You don't require precious catalyst. Even nominal catalysts like nickel chrome will do. Okay. So you don't need to have a precious catalyst. That is one of the merits you can have it. That's about MCFC. Let's move to the SOFC, solid oxide fuel cell. As the name implies, it is a fuel cell